Last week, I went to lunch with a friend, and she's very sweet, very go-getter, ambitious, goal-oriented, like reminds me exactly of me when I was in my early 20s working in the music industry. Like, she has a clear picture of where she wants to go in life. And it was really inspiring because she is in her mid-20s. I am in my early 30s. And depending on how old you are listening to this, you probably recognize the difference between when you were 5 years younger versus now, or like the gaps between different ages in your life. And hopefully things have gotten better, but I've noticed in my own life that when I quit the music industry, that my like flavor and excitement and momentum with certain things in my life kind of dropped off because music was all I wanted to do. I was obsessed. Everyone knew what I wanted to accomplish in it. I was doing things. It was like all of my energy went to that. And then when it was no longer a part of my life, I kind of just felt this like drop in my energy. And so seeing my friend talk about like, and this is not the only time she's talked about her goals. Every time we've been together, it's always like, okay, I'm now this step closer to my goal. And okay, I probably should clarify what it is, because when I start talking in intangibles, it gets really confusing. So basically, her goal is to retire in 10 years, and to have a chateau in France that she and her husband will renovate and then rent out as like a bed and breakfast type business. And first of all, most people would think of that and be like, oh, good luck with that. You know, you're 25. But most people will think, oh, she's crazy, or they'll judge her for it, or because of their own limits in their mind, they don't see it as a possibility. But the cool thing is that she legit has a plan for it. So she works in the finance industry. She literally, she has all the talent and skill to be able to do this, but she has an actual like mapped out, I don't know what you call it in finance terms, but just like a plan of like how much she needs to save per month, what their monthly costs need to get down to in order to save, by what year she needs to have a certain amount saved by. And then based on like different accounts that she has the funds in and the interest that it gains, she can live off of the interest of the money they have in their diversified portfolio, which is freaking sweet. Like, she's the coolest person to talk to about this stuff. But like, the thing I think that makes it so different hearing her goal is that, first of all, she's not afraid to share it. She says it loud and clear. She doesn't care like what people think. This is what I'm doing. I'm retiring in 10 years and I'm getting that chateau in France, and here's how I'm doing it. And that's the second thing. She has a plan. She actually has like a map projection for the next 10 years of how to do it in 10 years. And she's always just like tweaking, revisiting. Every week, she's like looking at her financials. On her desk, she has reminders of France and like little tokens to like keep her on point with where she wants to go. It's truly, truly inspiring. And so I'm hearing her talk about this, and I'm just like, I am so in awe of you right now. Like, you are not ashamed of owning what you want. And I think that is literally where most dreams die. And it just really hit me. Most people are so afraid to truly own and inhabit what they want that it just goes away. Like, they just secretly keep it stuffed inside. Too many people spend their life not actually owning what they want. And then it's on their deathbed that they regret not going after what they want. And a lot of it comes from fear. A lot of it comes from doubts, negative beliefs. It comes from conditioning from family, friends. It comes from caring about what other people think. And so by being around their limiting beliefs of what they believe is possible for their life, you've now dampened your own possibility and potential because you think that the way they see the world is how you should see the world. And granted, a lot of this is subconscious, right? Like, none of us purposefully try to like dim our light or not own what we want. It just is a byproduct of our conditioning. And that's why it's so powerful when you start to become aware and you start to pay attention to things that make you feel excited, that make you think differently. And this was one of those moments where someone was completely owning what they wanted. And I was like, okay, this is making me excited. And I love that. And I'm excited for her. And then the next question I asked was, why is this making me so like excited and invigorated? Am I owning what I want in my life? Is that why this is standing out to me? Am I not owning what I want in life? And that's why it's standing out to me? Because a lot of times when something stands out, in someone else, it's because we feel a lack of it in our life, or you have it in your life too, and you are really grateful and appreciative to it, and you're just recognizing it around you. So for example, like I want to grow in my abundance mentality and my wealth mentality. And I started noticing other wealthy people coming into my world, into my life. And rather than thinking, oh, they have more money than me, I thought that's a sign that wealth is coming to me, because other people who have it are coming into my life. And it's like a second degree, 2 degrees away from that wealth. And so now it's going to come to me. And so it's just like looking for that proof and that sign that it exists in your life. And so I guess what I'm trying to say is own what you want. Own what you want. Think about the people in your life who aren't afraid to say what they want, who aren't afraid to stumble their way towards it, or to just put it out there, and to ignore other people that are bad energy, and then to move forward with the good energy. And then another thing is just, like what stands out to you? What stands out to you in your life? Do bad things stand out to you because that's what you're oriented and focused on? Or are you noticing the abundance and the joy and the things that are out in your world that actually align with what you want? Are you paying attention to those and saying, yes, that means I'm getting closer. That means I'm getting closer. It's all about the perspective and the way that you talk to yourself. It truly is the way that you talk to yourself, the story you create about the world, the story you create about life. It matters. It makes such a huge difference, because every little thought that I think that goes towards abundance and prosperity and wealth and towards the goals that I want, it just keeps pivoting me towards that abundance more and more and more. And I keep going further and further. It's like a plane. Every degree that the plane is off, it's going to end up in another country. So every little degree counts. That doesn't mean you need to be harsh on yourself. Don't be hard on yourself. We all have to relearn and practice and have grace and space to learn. But at the same time, just where's your energy going? And what are you owning and not owning? What do you want to own? What do you want to focus on more? What do you want to grow in your life? And so that's my challenge and my thought that's been on my mind. And also my cue to own what I want more. It's taken me a while to just be honest and open about this, but I want the good space to be a landing place for people to find emotional support, spiritual support, when they don't know where else to find it, right? Like a lot of people actually come to our blog and our podcast when they're in the middle of a move or a divorce or a career change or a crisis. And I know it's because they're looking for that landing place, and I want to be that landing place, and I want to own that space in people's life. And the crazy thing is, the more that I've been owning it, the more opportunities and people have been presented in my life. It's crazy. Like I've mainly been doing the same things for the last so let's just say 2021. Like I've been doing pretty much the same, other than preparing for this paid newsletter. But the minute I started owning the results that I wanted and the effect I wanted to make with the good space, I'm meeting founders and friends and opportunities, and like being found, like our organic reach is growing so much. And I'm like, I know it's because the energy that I'm putting out from owning what I want is making that happen at a faster rate. Because when you're in a higher energy where you're grateful, you're excited, you're positive, the energy goes faster. Things come to you faster, versus when you're lower energy, not feeling it as well, more negative oriented, then things of equal energy come to you. So I feel like I'm finally at the point where, boom, let's go, let's get it. The equal energy is coming to me now. So hopefully that makes sense. So I hope that you enjoyed that little thought, and there will be more to come in the future. And there you go.